Why are you pushing what you can afford to start now? Most times is because of fear. Does anyone agree with me? Fear of failure, right? Fear of the unknown, correct. But guess what? Today I'm happy to tell you that only two things can happen. You will either win or you lose. But one thing for sure is that you will learn. You will learn. It might be learning from failure. It can be learning from success, but you will learn. And that's the most important part of starting. So just start it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here today. It's more than a privilege to speak with you today. All thanks to Kish, my mentee and my aburo.
Finally, I'm approved. Thank you.
You have always been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. These camera people, I can't see the faces I'm talking to.
Please, camera.
I want to see their faces, not yours. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the previous speaker. I was looking around to be sure that I was not in an APC congregation for a bit. But then I realized and I was safe. Because, when these politicians, when they come in, it's a game changer. They will sell you the party in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you. That was a very impactful word from you. So again, my name is Tonya Lawani. I'm the Group CEO, SEAL Group. Kish has done that introduction, so I don't think I would need to do more of that. Yes. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to always share my bit of experience, knowledge with entrepreneurs. I want to believe we all are in this hall. We are all entrepreneurs, I believe. Is there any? If you are not an entrepreneur, please leave us. So I think we all are. And if we are not, we are probably upcoming, I believe. So, dear entrepreneurs, dear budding entrepreneurs, dear small business owners, we are here today to talk about us. When Kish reached out to me to speak to you today, I found the theme of this summit very interesting for many reasons. Number one, and most importantly, is because this is what we experience daily in our lives. Charting new horizons, fresh starts, be it in business, be it in education, and even in love. I'm not a love doctor, but permit me to speak love today. We find ourselves having what we experience as a rebirth every day, where you wake up and you are thinking, what do I do next? How do I start it? And you find most of the time that your head is full of ideas. So many, if you listen to yourself, so many ideas. Sometimes you think they are not that big idea. Sometimes you are even more bothered about how do you want to make this idea come to life. So many things around charting new horizons. But as entrepreneurs, and like what I would always say, don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the biggest failure of us entrepreneurs. What is procrastination? I will. And that day will never come. I will do it next week. I will do it next month. Why are you pushing it? Why are you pushing what you can afford to do now? Why are you pushing what you can afford to start now? most times is because of fear. Does anyone agree with me? Fear of failure, right? Fear of the unknown, correct. But guess what? Today I'm happy to tell you that only two things can happen. You will either win or you lose. But one thing for sure is that you will learn. You will learn. It might be learning from failure. It can be learning from success, but you will learn. And that's the most important part of starting. So just start it. Just start it. If it doesn't work, give it another shot. If it still doesn't work, try something else. But don't stop. Right? Don't stop. If you stop, nothing is going to happen. You have to begin doing. Right? Just before I walked in here, the gentleman outside during the interview asked me a question that I think is very important for all of us today. They asked me, what would be your advice to the audience on charting new horizons? How do they start? And for me, it's simple. Pen it down. Write it down. Note it down. If you are digital, not like me, because I'm very not digital. I'm very old school and traditional, so I would always write. So write it down in your diaries, in your notepad, wherever, but just write down those ideas. That's where conceptualizing starts from. When you write, there's this thing they say that when you continue to write something and see it, you begin to connect more with it, resonate with it, and then it's easier to birth it. It's easier to bring it to life. That's the best and the easiest way to chart a new course or chart a new horizon, as the case may be. Right? Starting over again should never be anything to worry about. You know, sometimes, even with marriage, some people feel, okay, I've had a failed marriage. I will never do this thing again. I will never try it again. But how about if you never realized you tried it with the wrong person in the first place? Or how about your methodology in that first marriage was wrong? Maybe you weren't doing so many things right, and that's why it didn't work. And now, how about you see it as now being more prepared? So I'm using marriage because it is, we're in a society where that is it overflogged? It is very discussed, marriage, right? For me, marriage today, I would relate it to business, to your ideas, to birthing a new thing, or what have you. So, if that methodology didn't work the first time, start again. Try a different way. If your husband was complaining before that you were not cooking for him, that first husband, this second husband, make sure you go and learn how to cook and start cooking for him. That's a different methodology, right? If he was saying that you are not prayerful enough, find yourself a Bible or a teaching church and do more with that, so that you don't make the first mistake in this second opportunity, right? These are all different ways of charting a new course, new horizons in different areas of our lives. Don't wait for that big opportunity. Oh, I want to start that business, but I don't have money to start it. I'll tell you for free today that I think Kish mentioned so many industries that my businesses are right now. And I'm happy to tell you that my very first business, I started with 0 naira. All I started with was my head and penning it down. I didn't have to buy any equipment. I didn't have to employ. I just had to use my head and my time, right? And then I penned everything down. And guess what? When the opportunity came, I was ready for everything for this business. So once the opportunity came, I jumped at it like I had been in that business all my life. So today, I want to especially let you know that don't get distracted or discouraged by not having funds or capital to do what you want to do. Just start it so that by the time you have all the knowledge, you have schooled yourself on this business so much that you never know. That opportunity comes and somebody is asking you, what do you want to do? What would you like to invest in? You are ready. How are you ready? By the time you pour out that business idea to the person and you speak so knowledgeably, it will be hard for that person to say, I will not invest in you. Trust me, there are still such venture capitalists. I'm sure more than half of this room are entrepreneurs who want to start one business or the other. You know, you have all those ideas. You still have venture capitalists that only need to believe in you. And how do they believe in you? Is in how much you know of this thing that you want to do. And they will invest. And never be afraid of sharing your idea with perspectives like this. Tell them what you have in mind. Tell them how passionate you are about that thing that you want to start. You never know. You never know. Even at this stage of my life and in my journey in business, I still get those big breaks. And it's not because I'm extra favored or, God loves me more than you all. But I think it's more of being prepared to take advantage of opportunities. So that's preparedness, right? So yes, charting new horizons couldn't have been a better theme for today's summit, for the future summits. Because that's where we are right now. We're so confused. There's so much happening in our country. Our political speaker has stepped out. She would have told us more about what to expect. Right? But it's a tough time now for Nigerians. We can't say we know where we will be at the end of the year, and that's the truth. So we must be realistic. But it shouldn't stop us. As entrepreneurs, it shouldn't stop us. We must keep pushing against all odds. Nigeria is the most difficult terrain I know to do business in. I don't know any other place in the world that's more difficult to run a business or to start a business. So trust me, if you can start a business in Nigeria, you can succeed anywhere in the world. Because the peculiarities of running a business in Nigeria, you can't find them anywhere else. Where you are your own power supply, you are your own government. It's nowhere else. It's just us. So if you can operate your business successfully here, you can do it anywhere. So I want to leave you all today very encouraged to start that idea. Bring it out, bring it on. Push it through. Once you think that it will work, trust me, if there's that part of you that is so convinced that it will work, then it will work. But if you are not sure, you keep dragging, and to even start it becomes a problem. Right? So many times you find that there's a disconnect between the CEO, who is the chief executive, right, or the MD, as the case may be, and the workforce. So there's no flow. You are coming into work, it's just work and you get out. No. You can you can push it a bit further. I think that has worked for me, by the way. So while I say that is the most difficult in being an entrepreneur, it can also be easier if you build a relationship with your people, right? So for my team and I, SEAL Group is like a family. So it's like this extended family, right, where we all thrive together, where we cry together, we laugh together, and they know when I wear back that cap of the CEO, everybody knows to reset, right? But the same me, I think I have two of them in this hall now, so I make bold to say my EA is here, so she can tell you that when I'm done talking, that when I put on my hat as the CEO, I am the CEO. But that same me is who the same people will call Mama. So it means that I can come into the office now and you have done something wrong that will shake the organization, the SEAL Group, and I will blast you from all my heart. But it doesn't go deep. And that same person that I have told off in the management meeting in the morning is still coming to me and telling me a personal issue. And I don't know how that happens with me, but sometimes I actually forget that that person has upset me in the morning. And then I get into that personal thing that is troubling you. So I think it's very important to have that humanity in leadership. So my another famous quote for me is, to leadership, add friendship again and again and again. Don't stop, because it helps. It gives a good balance. So they don't just see you as the CEO, but as a mother, as a sister, as a friend. That way, it's easier to manage people. We are all unique and different. So what you expect from one person is not what you will get from the other. So we must be able to balance this. But yes, that is the most difficult in being a business owner in Nigeria, the human capital. So as you grow, you get to experience this more. When your workforce increase from just you to one more person to 2 to 3 to 4, it gets even more complex. But it still should not be a reason not to push, right? You don't stop. Yes, Kish, you were going to ask, yes.
So, for the past 20 years, you've been running your personal business as an entrepreneur. Yes. Can you tell us your biggest failure in business and how you've been able to overcome it, or how you've been able to start again?
Okay, that's a very good question. It has gotten me really thinking. My biggest failure. Failure is every day. It's every single day. You fail in something every day if you check. But now, what is the magnitude of failure is what you now have to begin to ask yourself. But if it's failure, trust me, I fail every day. Every single day. If I lose one client, I have failed. If I don't close one sale, I have failed. If I'm not able to pay salaries as at when due, I have failed. So as an entrepreneur, failure is every day. Or you don't stop. You fail, you get up again and push. Yeah, so, one question again. Okay.
SEAL Group is a complement of any business.
Correct.
And what you told us earlier is we should be prepared. So how did you prepare yourself for these businesses and to see how it works now, or how it's grown over the years?
Okay.
How did you prepare yourself for
Okay, thank you. What's your name? Wumi. Thank you, Wumi. I'm not sure if I prepared for all of these businesses, to be very honest. I think the opportunities just came, and I took advantage of them. So, yes, to say that as at when I started business 20 years ago, to say that I started by thinking there will be SEAL Group, no. SEAL Group came down the line. So I didn't start as SEAL Group. SEAL Group came at the point where we now realized we were so many businesses and we needed to have one umbrella. So my first business is in hospitality, and from there we went on to advertising, and then at some point when we realized that all the businesses had to do with branding, we decided to invest in the print business, the quick print shop, to complete the value chains of all the businesses so that we don't have to take our print work or our branding work outside. So that's where the quick print shop came in. So it's not, they didn't all birth at the same time. I'm not sure anyone can even do that. You can't birth more than one business at the same time. You will jumble up everything. So each of these businesses evolved. So one started, the other came, yes. And today, we are all under SEAL Group. So these are all subsidiaries. And so maybe then what your question will be, I believe in your mind now, is how am I managing to run all of these businesses, right? First of all, is the grace of God. So it is the grace of God, because sometimes even I don't know how I do it. But yes, it's the grace of God and a lot of persistence and addiction to success. So as much as I fail every day, I hate to fail. So I don't want to fail, so I push and push to make sure I succeed. Right? Wumi, I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Did I?
Does anyone ask any question?
Okay. That was what you were going to ask. How do I manage, right?
So
Okay.
where do you start from? Which of the, I just answered everything.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Okay. So, I want to challenge you all today, and I would like you all to say with me these few words of affirmation, and I will begin. Today, at last, a new horizon has opened up before me. I am taking charge. Thank you all very much, and God bless. Thank you, Kish.
Thank you.